You have probably got a bottle of white vinegar in your kitchen cupboard right now. It costs about 49 pence, and you're almost certainly using it for one thing, if you're using it at all. Here is what your grandmother used it for. Everything. Before supermarket shelves were stacked floor to ceiling with specialist cleaners, degreasers, fabric softeners, pest repellents, and descalers. Ordinary British households ran on white vinegar. It shifted limescale, it killed bacteria, it kept food fresh, fabrics soft, and drains clear, and it cost almost nothing. Number 7 on this list will replace a product most British households spend £40 a year on without thinking twice. And number 3 is the one that plumbers would prefer you never found out about. These 15 hacks were common knowledge a generation ago. Somewhere between the supermarket cleaning aisle expanding to 30 feet and the arrival of products with names like Active Zyme Bio Lift Spray, we forgot all of them. Before we start, hit that subscribe button, because this is the kind of practical knowledge we bring you every week. Let us count down the 15 British white vinegar hacks most people do not know about. Peel a sticker off a jar, a piece of furniture, or a window, and you are usually left with a patch of adhesive that collects dust and refuses to budge, no matter how hard you scrub. Your grandmother did not scrub. She soaked a cloth in white vinegar, laid it over the sticky patch for a few minutes, and wiped it clean. The acetic acid in the vinegar breaks the adhesive bond without scratching the surface underneath. This works on glass jars you want to reuse, price tags on charity shop finds, stickers on furniture, and any label residue that has been sitting long enough to go hard and grey. It also works on the gummy residue left by tape on walls and paintwork. No scraping, no scratching, no nails broken on a patch of glue that cost you nothing to remove. 1 cloth and a bit of vinegar. Done. Mix 3 parts water with 1 part white vinegar in a bowl or a clean sink. Drop your fruit and vegetables in, leave them for a few minutes, then rinse. That removes the waxy coating applied to apples, cucumbers, and peppers to make them look glossy on the shelf. It also strips pesticide residue and surface bacteria far more effectively than rinsing under cold water alone. Most people do not realize that the wax on a supermarket apple is edible but entirely unnecessary. It traps surface residues against the skin. Your grandmother washed her produce this way before organic was even a word people used in connection with food. She just knew how to clean things properly. A bottle of specialist fruit and vegetable wash from a health food shop costs £3 to £4. A splash of white vinegar costs pennies and does the same job better. If you are buying cheaper cuts of meat, such as silverside, chuck, round steak, or brisket, add a splash of white vinegar to your marinade before cooking. The acetic acid breaks down the muscle fibers in tougher meat, making it noticeably more tender without turning it mushy if you do not overdo it. A few hours in a marinade with a tablespoon of vinegar is enough for most cuts. This is how British working-class kitchens stretched a tight meat budget across a whole week. Cheap cuts were marinated overnight and slow-cooked until they were as tender as anything that had cost 3 times the price. Meat tenderizer powder from a supermarket costs around £2 for a small pot. A tablespoon of white vinegar from a bottle that cost less than £1 does the same job and also adds flavour to the marinade. Your grandmother did not need a specialist product. She needed a bowl and some patience. This is the oldest use on the list, and the one that kept British families fed through winters before refrigeration existed. Cucumbers, runner beans, onions, peppers and cabbage packed into jars with a vinegar brine kept for months in a cool pantry. The acidity of the vinegar creates an environment where bacteria cannot survive, which is why pickled vegetables stay safe and edible long after fresh ones have gone off. Allotment holders who grew more than they could eat in summer preserved the surplus in vinegar brine and ate it through January. Nothing was wasted. A jar of preserved runner beans and a bit of pickled red cabbage next to the Sunday roast in February was not unusual. We replaced this tradition with buying everything fresh from a supermarket and throwing away roughly a third of it. Your grandmother would have found that baffling. If ants are finding their way into your kitchen, spray white vinegar along the route they are using to get in. Spray windowsills, door frames, skirting boards, and any gaps you can see them marching through. Ants navigate by scent trails, laid down by scout ants. White vinegar disrupts those trails chemically, so the ants that follow cannot find the route and turn back. It does not kill them, but it keeps them out of the house without putting pesticide spray on surfaces where you prepare food. Commercial ant repellent sprays cost £3 to £5 and contain chemicals you probably do not want near a kitchen worktop. A spray bottle of diluted white vinegar costs almost nothing, and it does not require you to wash down surfaces before you cook. Spray it in the morning, leave it to dry, and the ant trail is broken. Repeat as needed. Number 10. Remove pet urine odor. If you have a dog or a cat, you need this one. Pet urine soaked into carpet or upholstery does not just smell unpleasant in the moment. The ammonia compounds in urine leave a scent marker that draws the animal back to the same spot repeatedly, which is why the same patch of carpet tends to get used again and again. Most commercial pet odor sprays mask the smell with perfume, without neutralizing the underlying compound. White vinegar neutralizes it chemically. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water, spray the affected area generously, and blot it up after a few minutes. The smell of the vinegar itself disappears as it dries, taking the urine odor with it. The scent marker that drew the animal back to the spot is gone. A bottle of specialist pet odor eliminator from a pet shop costs £5 to £8. A spray bottle of diluted white vinegar costs almost nothing and works better. Chopping boards, especially wooden ones, harbour bacteria in the surface scratches left by knives. Spray straight white vinegar on the board after washing, leave it for 2 or 3 minutes, then rinse. The acetic acid kills bacteria, including Salmonella and E. coli, on contact, and it neutralizes the lingering smell of onion, garlic, and fish that tends to transfer into whatever you chop next. This works on both plastic and wooden boards, and it is significantly safer to use than diluted bleach, which can leave chemical residue in the surface of the board if it is not rinsed thoroughly. Your grandmother wiped her wooden board down with vinegar routinely as a matter of course. She probably had no idea she was doing something that food safety researchers would eventually confirm was effective. She just knew it kept the board clean and stopped her fish pie tasting of last Tuesday's garlic bread. In 1970, the average British supermarket stocked a handful of cleaning products. A general-purpose cleaner, bleach, washing powder, and washing up liquid covered most households' needs. By 2000, the cleaning aisle had expanded into a separate category with dozens of specialist products: bathroom spray, kitchen spray, glass cleaner, limescale remover, drain unblocker, fabric softener, dishwasher rinse aid, descaler, carpet stain remover, and more. Each one was marketed as essential. Each one solved a problem that a previous generation had managed without specialist intervention. A bottle of white vinegar at 49p will do the job of 7 or 8 of those products. Nobody in the cleaning industry has any interest in telling you that. Number 8. Remove soap scum from shower screens. That cloudy, streaky film that builds up on glass shower screens is a combination of soap residue, hard water minerals, and body oils. It sticks to glass, and it becomes harder to shift the longer it sits. Spray straight white vinegar on the screen, leave it for 10 minutes, and wipe it off. For heavy build-up, heat the vinegar in the microwave for 30 seconds first. The warm acid cuts through the mineral deposits and soap residue in a fraction of the time. A bottle of specialist shower screen cleaner costs £3 to £5, and it has to be used with ventilation because of the fumes. White vinegar is acidic enough to dissolve limescale and soap scum. It leaves no chemical residue, and it smells of nothing once it dries. Your grandmother did not have a frameless glass shower screen, but she did have a bathroom that stayed clean on a budget that left no room for specialist products. Number 7. Replace fabric softener completely. This is the one that saves the most money. Add half a cup of white vinegar to the fabric softener drawer of your washing machine instead of commercial softener. Your clothes come out soft, odor-free, and without the residue buildup that commercial fabric softeners leave in the fibers over time. Here is the thing most people do not know. Fabric softener works by coating the fibers of your clothes with a thin layer of chemicals that feel soft to the touch. Over time, that coating accumulates and makes towels less absorbent and workout clothes less breathable. Vinegar actually removes residue rather than adding more. Your towels stay properly absorbent, your clothes last longer. You stop spending money on a product that, in many respects, was making your laundry worse. The average British household spends around £40 a year on fabric softener. A litre of white vinegar costs less than £1. Same result. Better outcome. If your microwave has dried-on food splatter baked into every surface, this is the easiest fix there is. Pour equal parts white vinegar and water into a microwave-safe bowl and heat it for 5 minutes. The steam produced loosens every bit of dried food on the walls, ceiling, and floor of the microwave. When the cycle finishes, leave the door closed for 2 more minutes to let the steam keep working. Then open it and wipe everything out with a cloth. No scrubbing, no specialist spray, no breathing in chemical fumes in a small space. Everything wipes clean in one pass because the steam has already done the work. A bottle of microwave cleaning spray from a supermarket costs around £2. A splash of white vinegar costs almost nothing. Your grandmother did not have a microwave, but she would absolutely have approved of the principle. Use what you have got. Do not buy what you do not need. Number 5. Descale your kettle and coffee maker. Limescale is the white chalky deposit that builds up inside kettles, coffee makers, and anything that heats water regularly in a hard water area. Britain has some of the hardest water in Europe across much of the south and east of England, which means limescale builds up faster here than almost anywhere else on the continent. It makes your kettle slower, your coffee maker less efficient, and your hot drinks taste faintly of minerals. Fill your kettle halfway with equal parts white vinegar and water. Bring it to the boil and leave it to cool with the solution inside. Tip it out, then rinse the kettle 2 or 3 times with fresh water. The limescale will be gone. The same process works in a coffee maker. Run a full cycle with the vinegar and water solution, then run 2 or 3 cycles with clean water to rinse it through. A bottle of branded descaler costs £2 to £3, and it is essentially just a mild acid solution. White vinegar is a mild acid solution that costs 49p, and it does the same job, saving you money and reducing waste. Before you spend £70 on a call-out fee, try this. Pour half a cup of bicarbonate of soda down the drain, follow it immediately with a cup of white vinegar, and stand back. The chemical reaction fizzes vigorously, and the turbulence it creates breaks up the grease, soap, and hair that are slowing the drain down. Leave it for 15 minutes, then flush it through with a full kettle of hot water. This handles the majority of slow drains by everyday buildup. It does not touch a genuine blockage caused by a solid obstruction, but for the gradual slowing that happens over months of use, it clears the pipes without chemicals, without a plumber, and for the cost of ingredients most British kitchens already have in the cupboard. Your grandmother used this method without knowing the chemistry behind it. She just knew that vinegar and bicarbonate together shifted things that water alone would not touch. If your shower pressure has dropped, the cause is almost certainly limescale, clogging the small holes in the shower head. Soak a cloth in white vinegar and wrap it around your taps overnight and secure it with an elastic band. Fill a small plastic bag with white vinegar, tie it around the shower head so the head is fully submerged, and leave it overnight. By morning, the limescale will have dissolved and the water pressure comes back. A plumber called out to investigate low shower pressure will charge you £50 to £100 to tell you that you need a new shower head. A bag of white vinegar costs pennies and returns the shower head to full working order without removing it or replacing anything. This is one of the most common household problems in Britain's hard water areas, and it has a free solution that takes about 30 seconds to set up. You do not need a glass cleaner. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle. Spray it on windows, mirrors, and glass surfaces, and wipe with a microfiber cloth. No streaks, no film, no residue. The vinegar cuts through the grease and grime that causes streaking without leaving anything behind when it dries. Most commercial glass cleaners contain ammonia or alcohol to do exactly the same job. A 500 milliliter bottle of branded glass cleaner costs around £2. A spray bottle of diluted white vinegar costs almost nothing and lasts far longer. Window cleaners used vinegar as their primary solution for generations before specialist products arrived. The professionals knew it worked. It still does. Number 1. Deodorize and clean your washing machine. Your washing machine cleans your clothes and never gets cleaned itself. Over time, soap residue, limescale, and moisture build up inside the drum, the seal, and the detergent drawer, creating the musty smell that transfers onto supposedly clean clothes. Pour 2 cups of white vinegar directly into the drum and run the hottest, longest cycle your machine offers with nothing else in it. The vinegar dissolves limescale deposits from the drum and the heating element, strips the soap residue from the seal and the pipes, and kills the bacteria and mold causing the smell. Run a short rinse cycle afterwards, and the drum will come out clean and fresh, working more efficiently than it has in years. Washing machine cleaning tablets from a supermarket cost £3 to £5 a box and should be used monthly. White vinegar costs less than £1 and does the same job. Your washing machine likely contains months or years of accumulated residue right now. It costs almost nothing to fix that today. None of these require a trip to the shops. Most of you have a bottle of white vinegar in the cupboard already. Start there. Try one this week. Descale the kettle if your water is hard. Use it in the laundry if you are still buying fabric softener. Clear the drain if your sink has been slow for months. One bottle replaces a dozen products you are probably spending money on every week without thinking about it. Drop in the comments. Which one surprised you most? And if your grandmother had one we have not mentioned, let us know. This was practical knowledge that an entire supermarket industry convinced us to forget.